to sit down with us in the On Time Experts hot seat. On Time Experts air conditioning and plumbing, same-day service guaranteed. It's Dallas Cowboys tight end Jake Ferguson here on Shan and RJ. Good morning, man. What's up?
What's going on, fellas? Good morning.
Dang, you didn't play well enough last year to dodge the early morning interview request?
Nah, I just wanted to see you guys early first thing out here.
Is it nice to be cold as you are right now in the fan camp?
I feel great. I feel great, yeah.
Well, you're Wisconsin weather.
Yeah, but being in Texas, I'd say my blood thinned out a little bit.
Yes.
I mean,
doesn't take long.
Yeah, no. 50-degree weather used to be warm for me, and now I'm wearing long sleeves. So.
I know for all the guys who are new to the team, and we talk to them, and they're like, Oxnard, we're going where for training camp? And we're like, trust us, right? Do they all quickly land and get it?
Yeah, I think once you step off the plane, you're like, okay, this isn't too bad at all.
Yeah.
And then it really starts to hit you when you're out in practice and you're not dying from, the heat or, losing 10 pounds of sweat.
So you turned into my favorite player last year, not just because the awesome training camp interview, but one of the criticisms of this team from Michael Irvin and others is just like the lack of dog. And I think you're a dog. We see it out there on the field with the nastiness and the attitude. Who else would you put in the dog category, if you agree even with what I'm saying? Who else out here has that in them that you see on the field?
Yeah, I think, for one, Tyler Smith, I think he's just got grown man strength, and, he might not be super vocal about it or, rah-rah about it, but he's going to throw you and he's going to make you feel it. And I think that's a big thing. And then defensive-wise, I think, Dono. You always, off season, you go around, you talk to other teams, and you talk to some of the other tight ends and stuff like that, and they're like, man, who's 6? And, their eyes get all big, and I'm like, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, there's a lot of fight in him, and, you're always going to get a good battle when you're going against them.
When it comes to, toughness, physicality, edge, those sorts of things, like we feel like we've seen that in you, like Sean was just talking about. Do you feel like that's something that you've always naturally had, or did you come into that since you've been in the NFL? Do you think guys can come into that sort of a demeanor? They can develop that over time?
For sure. I think my rookie season, I wouldn't say I didn't have any of it, but it definitely wasn't as, out there, and it wasn't, every play, and it wasn't, I'm going to protect my guys. It was sort of, I want to get my feet under me kind of thing, and then you get to that point where it's just like, all right, this is football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not yourself. You're not playing your best ball unless you're you. And that's when I'm playing my best ball is, when I'm having fun with my boys and we're going to war against the other team, and it's us versus them. So
what did you want to do in the off season to elevate your game? What was your off season focus personally?
This season?
Yeah, this off season.
I would just say, increase all my numbers. My big thing this year is consistency. Anytime a ball touches my hands, it needs to be caught. Even if it's one hand, fingertips, it needs to be caught. Every block that comes my way, or not even my way, it needs to be, a dominant block. It needs to be, hey, we can run the ball behind Jake Ferguson. We can throw the ball to Jake Ferguson. We're not going to have a problem with it. And also at the same time, just trying to have the infectious personality that I do have, and, let other people know, hey, you can be yourself. P. Henny, you're the best when you're that crazy joker, when you're throwing up the joker smile. We need you. We need you to be the joker. And I think that's important, and, just play ball.
Have you considered the media or podcasting world?
Oh, no. I mean, not too much. I mean,
you're a celebrity
people
now.
have talked about, no, I'm just a normal Midwest guy. But, no, I don't think so. I mean, maybe down the road, but I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, Jake, you were one of the guys last year that, when you talk to people out here, whether it be coaches or personnel people, and you're just kind of like, hey, what are you looking forward to? What are we going to see out here? Yours was one of the names that came up as Jake's taking a step up. Jake's going to open some eyes. Jake's going to surprise some people. For you, not just in the tight end room, for you, going through OTAs and mini camps, who do you look at on this roster that you've seen during the offseason program that you say to fans hey, that's going to be a guy that during this training camp you're going to start hearing more about, and he's going to be really impressive?
I think the two guys that immediately come to my mind are Damone Clark and Jalen Tolbert. We talk about that second-year jump. And I think we've done a lot of stuff in the off seasons. I've talked to both of them, and it's not just a second-year jump; it's a third-year jump, and you got to make that jump every year. And those two have done it, and those two are doing it. And then also, I'm really just excited to watch Guyton get after it. I was talking to him last night. He's above me in his room, and I'm just excited to watch him play. It's a different game when the pads get on, and what better place to do it than out here.
You didn't hear us this morning so far, right? Before you woke up, while sleeping, or
last year I did. I was in 15 over here. I was like, "Who are these guys?"
That's this guy right here. That's this guy right here. But you got moved.
No,
you got upgraded this year.
A little bit. Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't hear us yet.
Yeah.
Sound machine, man. You got to get a sound machine.
No,
play
I don't
that
do
white
that,
noise, brown noise, pink noise, all that stuff.
He's not a 2-month-old like the rest of you guys. Your adult sound machines.
So you talked about the second year jump. Is that when was there a specific moment where you're like, man, the game just slowed down for me a little bit?
Yeah, I would say more on the offensive scheme sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Being in it 2 years, you're like, okay, I've gone through these installs. I've been through all this. I really know what we're looking for. I know the details. Now it's time to really work on the details and work on, the scheme and how to be good in the scheme and know where you're good in the scheme. And then year 3, it's just kind of like, okay, now it's time to just play ball. Like, it's time to go. And kind of found that out in OTAs. And, like I said, those two other guys, JT and Damone, they were both in that, like, all right, we've been in this. It's time to go. And that's kind of infectious. And those two, watching them go and watching them work throughout OTAs and, workouts, it's been pretty awesome.
Talking with Jake Ferguson here on 105 through the Fan. Jake, so there were some headlines this offseason. A former teammate of yours, Dalton Schultz, had talked about that, hey, coming to Houston, the refreshing thing is the focus is on football. Like when you're in Dallas, sometimes it doesn't really feel like the focus is on football. Obviously not like any sort of throw a former teammate under the bus or anything, but just like to those comments itself and your experience, what do you think about that line of thinking about in Dallas? It's not just about football. It's about the other stuff. And in other markets, you can just play football.
Yeah, I think, one of the first things they tell you here is, you're representing the Star. And it's one of the biggest organizations. You're going to when you're playing well, you're going to get a lot of good. But at the same time, you got to understand, like in life, the same goes with life. They're going to beat you up when you're up, and they're going to gas you up when you're up, and they're going to beat you when you're down. But I wouldn't want to be anywhere. It's a privilege to be here. It's a privilege to play for the Star. It's a privilege to put that star on the front of my jersey because it's going to take care of the name on my back. And, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I love it here. Just put on the blinders, man. It's football.
Yeah.
Have you played NCAA 25 yet?
Oh, don't get me started. Yeah.
You're bitter. You're bitter that you didn't get to be in it.
I played for 2 days. I was a TCU quarterback, 5-star. I'm 0-4. They benched me against SMU. I haven't played since.
Dude,
I haven't played since.
It's hard.
Oh.
It's so much harder than the old one.
Yeah. I'm out here, like, cover 2, I'm throwing corner routes and the safety's breaking on it, and I'm like, this dude is not doing that in real life. But
okay, so one college coach, was it Ryan Day? Ryan Day was suggesting, hey, y'all play, and we've heard this with Madden in the past, like, play this game to become familiar with coverages in football. Does any of that apply? X's and O's wise?
I would say a little bit of it, but at the same time, some of it is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
what was your because clearly your butt hurt about it and you're taking it personal. What was your go-to game like in the Jake Ferguson Hall of Fame? I'm the man at what? What was it?
Of any game ever?
Any game.
I was crazy at Super Smash Bros. In high school.
Oh.
But then the only time I ever beat my brother in a video game was Madden with Michael Vick on the cover.
I broke a lampshade because of Vic.
That's great.
Yeah.
That
was unfair.
It was a cheat code.
I could only beat him with Vic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell him what you said about Wisconsin.
Well, I was going to say that. Why did you choose TCU over Wisconsin? Is it because you didn't want to hear them play that stupid jump around before the game?
I'll jump over the table right now.
No, you stay right there. I defend you. Stay right there. We're short bros. Yeah. Okay, we're short bros. Okay.
That's RJ's contention. He said we were talking about the best college atmospheres earlier this week, and Wisconsin was on the list. And he's like, if you have to pipe in somebody else's song, how great is your atmosphere? So would you like to say anything different about that?
It's because On Wisconsin isn't a good fight song.
You know, I don't even know what it is. It's the science building that gets the stuff on the Richter scale, like the geography or whatever it is. When we do jump around, it's a mini earthquake. It starts going.
He's House of Pain's playing, not because the crowd.
Because the people are jumping. The stadium's integrity is in question.
And he's a Tennessee Vol, so he's on his little SEC. Yeah. You know,
we're just a cut above.
I'm not worried about that. Yeah.
All right, so Peyton Russell's our producer. He's not here. He's back in studio running the show, and he probably had an unhealthy obsession with your relationship and following it. We basically had transfer portal updates on our program throughout the past 6 months. So did you become uncomfortable? How much increased attention did you get? Do you hate increased attention with it? Now that you're like the third most famous celebrity couple, we ranked it earlier on the show.
Yeah. I try to keep it all football. You know, we keep that stuff private. I love her. She's doing great with ball. I support whatever she's doing. Still have yet to beat her in basketball. She's broken my ankles a couple of times.
Really?
Other than that, I just kind of keep it football. But yeah, she's awesome.
All right, finish up with your either ors, Chop.
All right, couple of questions for you.
By the way, I have a question I've been wanting to ask you since last year. Right. With all the tattoos, okay, is it like a haircut in where, like, in the middle of it, you're like, oh no. Because every tattoo can't be perfect. Do you voice it in the middle? Does it get corrected? Are they cool with that? The tattoo correction process, is it a thing?
Are you talking about what? I have a funny story. I've actually got one of my tattoos redone because I went to the shop and it was not good.
Okay, but when did you know in the process of it that it was bad?
Immediately.
Okay, so you don't say anything in the moment? Is it too late?
Ink's already on. You want to go to a better person and kind of get it going. But with my leg, this whole leg sleeve.
Yeah.
You know, I talked to the artists. I talked to their Eden Body Studio in Dallas. Deanna's the artist, but she was like, "Hey, like, come in on Saturday or whatever, and we'll talk about this tattoo and stuff like that." And I'm like, "Okay." And then her husband was like, who does all the managing for the shop, goes, "Come in Wednesday. We just had an opening." I was like, "All right, we're just going to go talk about it." I get in there, about an hour goes by. We get everything going, draw it all up, and I'm like, "All right, I'm about to leave." And she goes, "Get on the table." I'm like, "Huh?" She goes, "Yeah, we're starting this right now." And so I'm like, "All right." And I was not ready for it. And 6 hours later, I had the first panel done.
Wow.
Ooh. And loved it.
Loved it.
Okay.
Loved it. It's unbelievable. And
so
I'm probably getting more.
How many do you have?
Got this one on my leg.
Do you count that as one?
Yeah, I guess, right? I would think
we
so.
don't know.
Yeah.
A
giant leg sleeve.
Yeah.
I got one on my arm that I had redone. And then I've got one with my dad and my brother. We're trying to get my brother to get it. And then one of my ribs. Oh, yeah, and then I got another one. But
interview over. Walk off. That's it. Hey, man, we put you at the top of the request list for this very reason. Thanks for joining us again this year. Keep crushing it, man. Keep being that dog, and we can't wait to do it again with you.
Of course.
Have a healthy camp.
Appreciate you guys.